In the early 2010s, the rise of smartphones turned everyone into a potential broadcaster. Suddenly, the killings of unarmed black citizens, people like Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, were captured in high definition, shared instantly, and impossible to look away from. Watching these tragedies unfold on screens day after day took a heavy psychological toll on an entire generation. It created an ambient state of grief and numbness, fueling a deep skepticism toward American institutions that seemed indifferent to Black lives. Out of this specific, shared pain, the Black Lives Matter movement was born. It was a grassroots demand for enfranchisement and a loud rejection of state-sanctioned violence. Past civil rights eras had their own defining soundtracks. The 1930s had anti-lynching dirges sung by Billie Holiday, and the post-civil rights era was scored by the prophetic soul of artists like Curtis Mayfield. But this modern crisis required a new response. A generation watching systemic violence in real time needed a soundtrack tailored to the 21st century, one that could articulate profound, collective grief while still leaving room for defiant joy. Fresh off the mainstream success of his second album, Kendrick Lamar was searching for the conceptual direction of his next major project. During his tour, he traveled to South Africa and visited Nelson Mandela's former jail cell on Robben Island. He spent the trip contrasting the deep history and rich, complex beauty he witnessed in Africa with the ongoing, systemic struggles of his hometown in Compton, California. After he returned, Kendrick scrapped 2 or 3 albums worth of material. He chose to start entirely fresh with a radically different vision. To execute this vision, Kendrick assembled a massive, diverse coalition of musical minds to build an entirely original sound. He recruited modern jazz virtuosos like bass player Thundercat and saxophonist Kamasi Washington to inject complex, unpredictable instrumentation into a hip-hop framework. He also brought in legacy icons like George Clinton and Ronald Isley, firmly anchoring the new record within historic Black funk and soul traditions. These collaborations resulted into Pimp a Butterfly. It is a dense, avant-garde fusion where funk, spoken word, free jazz, and soul aggressively collide and weave together. This chaotic musical structure was deliberate. It mirrored Kendrick's own dive into his psyche, allowing him to explore complex themes like survivor's guilt, industry exploitation, and internal racial hypocrisy. By wrapping these intensely personal and difficult socio-political truths in sheer musical complexity, the album acted as a Trojan horse, delivering hard realities straight to a mainstream audience. Kendrick wasn't acting in a vacuum. His album arrived alongside a sudden, powerful cultural wave of Black artists pivoting